When I first came to automatic products, I was like a kid in a candy shop. I'd never seen so many machines like this in one place in my life. I was so overwhelmed with the fact that I can learn how to do all these things, that I can go one by one, learning each little bit about these machines and become better and better as a machinist. And that's something I will never forget, that joy of stepping into this place and knowing this is it, this is where I want to be. Being an apprentice as a high school student, that was an interesting phase of my life. I had a lot to balance at the time when I was younger, learning, obviously, in high school, and I had to learn more through AJAC, and I had robotics, and I had a job at Pizza Hut at the time, and learning how to drive. There was so much going on in my life, and part of why I'm most proud is that I stuck through with all that. I made it through. And going into an environment like this was interesting because I didn't know anyone else at my school that did a job like mine, that was in a workshop actively getting paid, getting this like in-life career training. I didn't know anyone else doing this. And it was an interesting and unique experience, especially talking to people about my job. And it's always interesting talking about what I did to my friends because you're like, what, you're manufacturing? Dude, we're like seniors in high school. Most of us are working at McDonald's. Like, no one else did a job like mine. And that was the most interesting part to me as being an apprentice in high school. Honestly, I'm proud that I finished. Not everyone does. And I went through a lot at the beginning phases, going through school and doing this, through my journeys of working on job sites, those difficult classes. There were points when, honestly, I didn't think I was made for this. I didn't think this was the right type of job for me. The apprenticeship models of learning, to me, I prefer them. They're better for me. Learning from someone who was specifically in that field, in a workplace environment, to me is a lot more valuable than learning it through a classroom. Not only are you learning how to work that machine and the type of part that you're doing, but you're also learning how to do it in an efficient, quick way. In classes, you will be able to learn, yes, precisely how to make a part in its completion, but at a workplace environment, it's different because you're doing step by step. All these tiny, minute details of like lean manufacturing is another valuable part to me about learning through an apprenticeship. No matter how much you've studied or practiced something, it is never as valuable knowledge as doing it in person on the field. That is the best place to learn, in my opinion. The idea of an apprentice is eventually to succeed your mentor. What I like about the apprenticeship is that you are learning from someone who has been in this field either for like a couple years, 10 years, 12 years. The end goal is that you will meet that level of precision, that level of craftsmanship to eventually succeed them. And you can eventually become a mentor of your own. To me, an apprenticeship has always meant to become a successor, to succeed your mentor and eventually become one. My teacher when I was in high school was Creed Nelson. I cannot be grateful enough to Mr. Nelson. He was the one that really made me feel like I can do this in the moments where I thought maybe I'm not fit for this. Maybe I shouldn't be a machinist. He was a really big motivation for me in learning through AJAC. I had a lot of moments of doubt where I didn't know where I was fit with this. I saw my peers, they had more experience in manufacturing than I did, and I feel like I was going behind. And I thought maybe this isn't for me. But Nelson would always be there, and he would always be like, Luke, what you may lack in experience, you make up for as a team player. I'll never forget him telling me that. And he always tried, whenever I failed making a part, whenever something fell out of a machine or whenever a machine crashed, he was always there to make sure I don't give up on this. And I am ever so grateful to this man that I stuck with it. And I'm finally here. I'm finally in aerospace. All those hours, all those times I would push myself, always push myself to do more, to learn more. And I finally got that certificate and I realized I was at the finish line. And that was an amazing feeling of accomplishment, of earning this card, putting in the hours, putting in the work, putting in the knowledge to finally obtain this card. And knowing that now that I'm done with this journey, I'm starting a whole new one. And I'm excited to reach that point again.